good, everybody? It's your boy Todd Smith here, once again with yet another episode of the No Gimmicks podcast, alongside my tag team partner Dale Clifford out there in Fernley, Nevada. Dale, what is good, my man, as we count down the top 10 matches for the month of December?
Alrighty, Todd. It is, top 10 matches from December. Well, clarify it a little bit. Kind of I think the approach that we're taking here is not so much a top 10 matches, just because I think we could get dominated a lot by Ring of Honor and Lucha Underground. As in, we're trying to fit a top match from each company into our list of 10. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get to the first match here.
ROH, stop putting out such good wrestling. You're dominating our list. We literally could have made this the top final battle moments of December, basically. That's how much good quality wrestling that we got one show from these guys. But as you said, Dale, let's start here with our first match from the top 10 matches of December. Let's talk about Bobby Roode versus Ty Dillinger. Also, Roderick Strong and Andrade Cien Almas competing in this match for the NXT number 1 contender in a fatal 4-way match. So basically, all 4 participants have won their qualifying matches from the week prior to enter this bout. Whomever stands victorious at the conclusion of this bout will win an NXT heavyweight title shot against Shinsuke Nakamura at NXT TakeOver San Antonio. And each competitor, I could say, honestly brought their A game in this match. But in the end, it was Bobby Roode who utilized his glorious DDT to leave a blemish on the perfect 10 record of one Mr. Ty Dillinger in order to earn the title shot versus Shinsuke Nakamura at their next pay-per-view coming up in the Longhorn State. So, Dale, what's your take on this one?
You know what? The ending just made sense. Bobby Roode, he's the main event guy. You know, Andrade's not there. It's like they're obviously. I think a match with him and Shinsuke could be good, but you can't sell it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not quite there yet.
Roderick Strong, as my wife said, is like, oh, he's the Sami Zayn of NXT. I was like, oh, great, another great guy that my wife's not paying attention to because she doesn't know anything about his past history.
Come on, April. Give this
so
guy
that's
some
just the thing. It's like to the mainstream people, Roderick Strong doesn't have enough time on TV yet. Ty Dillinger could be, but he just really hasn't picked up enough wins.
Yeah,
it's like he's got momentum and he's got the crowd, but he doesn't have wins on his side. So it just made sense. Bobby Roode, and then obviously. Definitely. And you kind of just see it the way the eliminations worked in this. Andrade was first, then Roderick Strong, and then obviously that leaves Ty Dillinger and Bobby Roode, who have the feud going. Mm-hmm. They get kind of close this thing out in a one-on-one match, and then obviously Bobby Roode goes over in the end. But we saw strong stuff from all of these guys. Andrade does his moonsault on Dillinger, and then tried to do another one, but Roderick Strong got knees up. Roderick Strong did a nice capture backbreaker on Bobby Roode. You had an Olympic slam done to Bobby Roode. Just definitely a Tower of Doom spot, which is not the first time in our countdown we're going to even see the Tower of Doom. So that was used several times in the matches from this past month.
Although, what separated that one from the rest of the Tower of Doom spots, it actually featured all 4 competitors in the match in pretty much, how can I say it, in order of succession. Because usually when you have a Tower of Doom spot and you have like 4 guys involved, you don't have all 4 guys taking the same move at the same time. Usually you have somebody like who's delivering the move along with someone else, and then two of the guys are actually taking the bump. But in this case, I mean, I had never actually quite seen a Tower of Doom spot perform that way. It actually looked pretty dangerous. Matter of fact, I mean, because I think if I was correct, you had someone delivering a power bomb. Then I think the person who was taking a power bomb had someone on top of their shoulder suplexing someone.
Yeah, I think that was right. Yeah.
Crazy stuff indeed. So, moving on here, let's talk about Marty Scurll, who's the ROH TV title holder, taking on William Ospreay and newcomer Dragon Lee from CMLL in a triple threat for the ROH TV title from Final Battle 2016. This match was originally scheduled to be a fatal 4-way for the TV title, but unfortunately Bobby Fish was not able to participate due to a death in the family. This was quite a spectacular contest featuring 3 of the newer talents in ROH. We witnessed the breathtaking aerial assault of one Mr. William Ospreay, the vicious heel tactics of Marty Scurll, and the resilience of Dragon Lee. In the end, our favorite villain from across the pond, Mr. Marty Scurll, retained his ROH TV title by forcing Dragon Lee to tap. Dale, what's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, that was just the thing. And you said, like, newcomer Dragon Lee. It was like, well, to a Ring of Honor audience, actually, all 3 of these guys are pretty new.
True.
And definitely, this is one of the very first times that I really got a good look at Ospreay, and wow, his moveset is just unbelievable. It's like he is so athletic and quick and fluid with all the stuff that he does. I was just completely blown away with the things that he can do in the ring.
Most dynamic wrestler in wrestling.
Yeah, obviously that's his type of style. Scurll's a little bit different. He's a little bit more hard-nosed, and then obviously Dragon Lee comes from the CMLL luchador style that you get from Mexico. So definitely 3 good aspects in this match. Unfortunately, as you said, we didn't get Bobby Fish. But this match, even without Bobby Fish, didn't disappoint. It was very good. Very good.
Yeah. I mean, I could honestly say this match was rated as one of the top matches of 2016, just alone with those 3. Had you added Bobby Fish to this encounter, I think it would have probably came out as the top match of 2016. And there was actually some pretty solid offerings this year. Quite a matchup there. And like I said, it was one of those things where you really could not afford to blink.
Oh yeah,
during the match, because when you have someone like William Ospreay involved, you just never know what you're going to see out of that guy. That was just a taste of what he can do. There's a match featured. I know I'm kind of getting off topic here for a second. From, I think it was Battle of Los Angeles from 2016, that featured William Ospreay and I want to say Matt Sydal and Ricochet, who was also known as Prince Puma, taking on the Super Clique, which is comprised of Matt and Nick Jackson and Adam Cole. That is a must-see match. Must-see. And I think that actually is at the top of a lot of people's list as the best match of 2016. That's its man tag.
Well, real quick, obviously, you had touched on it was Ricochet teaming up with Ospreay. The match from the Super Juniors that they had at the beginning of the year is also very high on the list. But getting back to the triple threat from Final Battle, one of the highlights was Marty going for a crossface chicken wing that Ospreay countered with his O's cutter, and then you had Dragon Lee doing a Hurricane Rana to Ospreay on the floor, and Will landed on his feet. So just some of the phenomenal stuff between all of these guys that just absolutely amazed me. And then obviously Ospreay had a springboard double Pele kick to both guys. What?
Yes.
So yeah, and then obviously it ended with a Ospreay hitting the cutter on Lee and then getting thrown to the outside and Scurll locking on the crossface chicken wing and retaining the ROH TV title.
Yes, quite the finish to quite the match. And that's just, like I said, the one of many matches that we're going to mention from ROH's Final Battle 2016 on this show here. So let's move to the next match from that card. The Young Bucks, who are defending their ROH tag titles against the ROH Originals, the Briscoes. This match here, of course, featured 2 of the top tag teams in ROH history and 2 of the best in the industry. They really divided the crowd in half. Because the ROH crowd, they were kind of like, split right down the middle. You're getting all the Too Sweet chants and all that stuff, but also Man Up chants and Them Boys chants from the crowd in attendance. This featured the hard-hitting, unorthodox offense of our favorite hillbillies, the Briscoes, versus the cocky and charismatic high-flying duo of Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. Several high spots, Bullet Club homages, and Super Kids later. The Young Bucks pinned ROH Originals to retain the ROH tag titles. And then Matt Hardy made his presence known in the honorable ring. Dale, what do you have to say about this one?
Man, yeah, just a couple highlights that I took away from the match was Mark hitting the flying elbow drop off of the ring apron and then kind of giving the double gun salute, and I remember the commentary talking.
Homage to Cactus Jack.
The commentary bringing up Cactus Jack, and then one of them was talking, and I don't remember who it was, if it was Carino, bringing up the fact that he didn't even know if Mark knew who Cactus Jack even was, which to me would be absolutely silly that you could be in professional wrestling and not know Cactus Jack. And then obviously the end,
bang bang,
and then obviously the end of that match, the super kick flurry that was just absolutely ridiculous,
insane.
But yeah, it's like you had the Young Bucks with the Doomsday super kick, which was on the outside. They did more bang for your buck, which one of the Briscoes kicked out of. You had the Briscoes hit a Doomsday device. Just was like, and then obviously Young Bucks hit the Meltzer driver, but Mark was able to save the pin. So just absolutely just crazy. It's like you had a J Driller, didn't finish the match, and then obviously at the end you had that super kick flurry that was just rapid fire. Steve Corino was losing his mind.
Where was the super kick counter during that one? That's what I'm curious about.
Because that was just the thing. It was like Matt and Nick were alternating super kicks between the two Briscoes who were in a kneeled position. It was like one would hit the super kick on one brother, and then the other would hit on the other. They weren't doing it at the same time, so it was rapid fire. And then then the match was over. Just unreal. And that's just the thing. Is like the Young Bucks have changed the sense of and professional wrestling right now. The super kick is not what it was back in the day of Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, it wasn't. Because originally it was just a finisher, basically. You hit an opponent with it one time, that was it. They were done. Now, the finisher has basically been turned into just almost a regular move. It's not even considered really even a special move at this point. So, yeah, those guys will be remembered for several things, but also for innovating that move into a more regularly used move in people's movesets, in the ring. But then, like I said, the surprise to cap this all off. We had a TNA talent show up on an ROH show. You were just absolutely going crazy over that, weren't you, Dale?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like Broken Matt Hardy appears at the end of Final Battle to say that him and Brother Nero are going to delete the so-called best tag team in the world because, again, Matt says he wants to him and Jeff to be the best tag team of all in space and time, and there it is. You got the Young Bucks who claim to be the best tag team in the world, so Matt Hardy's going to track them down. Just it's so weird because obviously I know that New Japan has the agreement with Ring of Honor, but for him to show up with a TNA contract at a Ring of Honor pay-per-view is very, very interesting.
And it is interesting. I'm going to mention something else here. I'm going to kind of get off topic for a second. When Cody appeared at ROH Final Battle that night, did you notice that he was using his theme song, which was created for him in TNA? So there's got to be something that this is building towards here. Some sort of like a working relationship between Impact Wrestling and ROH, or they're going to allow those guys to work some bookings for ROH or something. And all I can say is I'm just looking very forward to it.
Oh, yeah. This is a definite kind of a dream situation here. You get the Hardy Boys versus the Young Bucks, which many compare the Young Bucks to original Hardys. So
that's what they are.
Obviously, they do a little bit more high-flying stuff, and you got the super kick stuff, but it's like the look of the two guys are almost virtual to that of early Matt and Jeff WWE days. So
yeah, prior to becoming Team Extreme and taking on the look that they had, like the more edgier persona, they used to wear almost identical ring gear with the fluorescent colors and the tassels and all that stuff and the headbands, just like how the Young Bucks do. Yeah, it's unfortunate that we did not get this match when the Hardys were, some people could argue and probably say that Matt Hardy is actually in his prime right now currently with the whole broken gimmick. But I would have loved to have seen these two teams go at it, maybe say in a TLC match in the WWE years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But we're probably going to get that now in the form of a ladder war match at some point. at a ROH pay-per-view. So, like I said, I can't wait to see it. Also, another member of the Super Click featuring one of our top matches of December here as Adam Cole, baby, took on Kyle O'Reilly for the ROH World Heavyweight title. Now, this has been one of the longest running feuds of recent memory in ROH, featuring the former Future Shock tag team members. At the last minute, former ROH matchmaker, Nigel McGuinness, switched the stipulation to where it became a no DQ match. The match featured quite a bit of bloodshed, which is quite rare in professional wrestling nowadays, and some old school weaponry as well, such as the Russian chain were featured in the match. Kyle O'Reilly finally gets the sweet taste of revenge as he makes Adam Cole tap, and the Violent Artist becomes the new ROH World Heavyweight Champion. Dale, what do you have to say about this one?
You know what? I was a little disappointed. I had pegged this one as possibly being the match of the month, match of the year candidate. I just thought because it had the no DQ feel and all of the weaponry, it took away from what could have been a showcase of Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. The match was still good. Okay. I just thought that using using the belt shot and the chairs and the tables and stuff like that just took away what could have been a showcase of Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. That's all. I just kind of wanted it to be a little bit more of a professional wrestling style match instead of a TLC-esque no DQ match where the rules didn't count. That's all.
So let me help you out here, Dale. What you're basically trying to say is this match did not need no gimmicks, right? No gimmicks were needed. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted the match to not have a gimmick to it. But outside of that, it delivered. Okay. Definitely, you had the belt shot that Adam Cole gave to Kyle O'Reilly, and then I think Kyle kind of bladed himself because you saw him tuck himself under the ring. So I want to say that he took the belt shot and then he busted himself open. And it was interesting on how Adam Cole got busted open on the choke into the tables. That one was an interesting spot there too. And then obviously you had the thumbtacks and a very unique finish of getting the arm breaker on Adam Cole while they're laying on the thumbtacks. So it's an interesting finish there. But again, I just was hoping that we were going to get more of a showcase of what these two guys can do in terms of their wrestling movesets instead of just a bloodbath, beat the crap out of each other. But it delivered in that aspect, but that's the only reason why I just was a little disappointed in it is because I just wanted it to be more of a straight-up match.
A traditional wrestling match. Yeah, I sort of agree with you. I'm kind of about 50-50 on this one because I really dug the old school feel to this match because you just don't get those type of blood feuds in wrestling anymore because, like I said, it's just, they've limited the usage of gigging and stuff like that. Basically, when guys are bleeding nowadays, they're kind of bleeding the hard way. The two things that stuck out to me in this match that kind of had me a little bit, saying it didn't live up to its expectations, that whatever was planned to go with the chain, that went wrong. That was botched. And the crowd even made mention of that in their own way. And there seemed to be some sort of hesitation at the conclusion of the match for the referee to declare Kyle O'Reilly the winner, which made his win kind of anticlimactic. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I definitely agree that there was a little bit of an odd connection at the end where you had the tap, but it definitely seemed like the referee wasn't sure that the match was over, which was very weird.
Right, which kind of hurt Kyle O'Reilly because, the crowd should have just been going crazy once he won the match, and they were kind of like, okay, yeah, we guess the match is over. Yeah, all right, Kyle won, yay, so...
Yeah, definitely a weird ending to what should have been one of the bigger moments in ROH history, because obviously we know the long history between Cole and O'Reilly and Kyle's pursuit of the ROH championship, and he finally achieved it. It's just so interesting because obviously as we're ending the year here and you just kind of look back. I know some people were kind of putting Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole in the top tier for feud of the year, but that's the thing to me. I was like, well, this feud's been going on for more than 1 year, so I kind of dismissed it as being a top feud of this year, because really it's been going on for so long that I didn't think it qualified for just a 1 year thing. But
yeah, it kind of concluded this year, basically. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. But guess what, Dale? We have another match from Final Battle included on our top 10 matches for the month of December. This time around, it is the newly formed version of the Kingdom in the image of one Mr. Matthew Taven, taking on the trio of Kushida, Lio Rush, and Jay White for the inaugural ROH six-man tag titles. The ROH, six-man tag belts, I gotta say, are probably easily one of the best-looking sets of belts in the business currently. Those are some sweet-looking belts. The newly formed Kingdom has been on a bit of a hot streak as of late and looks to rule over ROH as the top trio in the land by capturing a victory over the exciting young trio of Rush, White, and Kushida. And although it was quite the spot fest, both teams really displayed some solid cohesiveness between the two of them. But in the end, it was Matt Taven who got the pin for his team and earns the distinct honor of being the first ROH six-man tag champs. Dale, what's your thoughts on this one?
Well, one of the big highlights that the commentators wanted to keep mentioning is that Final Battle had been a rough pay-per-view for Matt Taven. It was 1 year ago that he blew out his knee at Final Battle.
Right.
So this was a big just kind of get over the hump of Final Battle moment for Matt Taven. The Kingdoms, they got great heel work going on, and then obviously you could just see how good of sell artists Kushida and Rush are. They just absolutely put over the Kingdom in this match. Kushida is,
yes,
you kind of got a good idea of why he is one of the top guys in the world, especially in Japan right now.
Mm-hmm.
He did a very good job of, and again, nice heel work by the Kingdom, and a great job of just helping out the Kingdom look so good by the other three guys involved. We kind of knew which direction this one was going. The Kingdom just debuted.
Yeah.
You kind of feel like you had to put if you're going to make a six-man champion, putting it on a stable is better than putting on just three individual guys. So you kind of felt like the Kingdom was going to win. But again, another match here that didn't disappoint from Ring of Honor, and they continue to show why they are probably the top American promotion in the world right now.
Without question. And another factor, too, I'm going to wrap this one up real quick here, and we're going to move over to Lucha Underground for the top matches that were featured from that company. Without Kushida really being a full-time regular over in ROH, since he's really doing a lot of work over in Japan as well, it kind of would have been tough for them to put the six-man tag belts on that trio. Moving on here to Jeremiah Crane versus Killshot versus Dante Fox versus Mariposa. This was from the Battle of the Bulls tournament semifinal from Lucha Underground. So up until this point, Cage and the Mac had already advanced in the Battle of the Bulls tourney. Newcomers Dante Fox and Jeremiah Crane were faced with the challenge of taking out Killshot and seasoned ring veteran the Mariposa. This may as well have been a chair match by stipulation, with a number of sickening spots, which would include the Tower of Doom spot through the 7 chairs, and Mariposa delivering the butterfly effect to Killshot, a.k.a. the Vertebreaker, through a chair. In the end, it was the macabre Jeremiah Crane from the Last House on the Left that was still victorious in this chaotic affair after drilling Dante Fox with the cranial contusion. Dale, your thoughts on this one?
Oh, man, I know that when we were putting this list together, I think all 5 Battle of the Bull matches probably could have made our list here.
Easily.
And we ended up just choosing 2 because, again, we were trying to give attention to every promotion here. But that was just the thing. This was match 3, and then we also put the finals on our list as well. But yeah, as you mentioned, you had the Vertebreaker, you had a Springboard Codebreaker. that Dante Fox gave to Killshot. Then you had Jeremiah Crane nail Killshot with a Death Valley Driver. As a sit-out powerbomb was used by Crane on Killshot. Then and then obviously, as you said, the Vertebreaker, a springboard Spanish Fly. There's a blocked 450. You saw a little bit of everything from these guys, because I know that Killshot and Dante Fox are very athletic and high-flying. And Crane likes to use a lot of kicks and pops, because you definitely hear the pop action when he throws the kicks. And then obviously Mariposa, just again highlighting Lucha's use of women in their matches. She can hang with the men.
Yeah, she held her own in there against those other three guys, and I am glad to finally see this guy, Dante Fox, a.k.a. A.R. Fox. I believe that's the name he used out there in the Indies. He is spectacular. This guy, yeah, he's also another aerial artist, and it's good to see Jeremiah Crane coming to his own. The former, what was his name, Solomon Crow over there in NXT. Also Sami Callihan out there in the Indies. Yeah, I really became a fan of his, because I wasn't a big fan of his until I've seen from him in Combat Zone Wrestling, or excuse me, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, and over here in Lucha Underground. So our next match features some competitors from Lucha Underground as well. This was the Battle of the Bulls finals match, as Cage took on the Mac, also PJ Black and Jeremiah Crane. This Battle of the Bulls finale opened up this episode of Lucha Underground as a Fatal 4-Way elimination match. The winner would become the number one contender. Cage lived up to his moniker as a machine as he unleashed an onslaught on the other three combatants in this match. However, he was unsuccessful due to interference from Tejano. PJ Black and Jeremiah Crane surprisingly outlasted Cage, but both fell victim to the mat stunner. And similar to the RKO, the Mac has proven that his stunner can be hit from just about anywhere. He gained himself a number one contender spot for the Lucha Underground Championship. Dale, your thoughts on this one?
Another solid outing. Obviously, huge fan of Cage, just because they passed the connection that we have to him. So I kind of always root for him a little bit when he's in there. But liked that he basically was volleyed back and forth on the finishing maneuvers to get him eliminated from the match. Surprised, but not ultimately surprised, I should say, that the Mac ended up winning this thing, when you kind of look at where the rivalries in Lucha Underground are going right now. He's a good friend of Sexy Star, who's got the feud going with Johnny Mundo, who's the Lucha Underground champion. So for the Mac to win, it kind of just fits in with storyline purposes. And again, Jeremiah Crane, not quite ready to be a Lucha Underground main event guy. And then PJ Black, you're like, what are we going to get, the finger poke of doom if we get PJ Black and Johnny Mundo? So you know that he couldn't have won. So
yeah. Luckily, WCW shut down operations in 2001, and this is Lucha Underground 2016, so things didn't quite go down that way. Although we did figure out for some reason that the Mac is impervious to when it comes to stunners, because PJ Black attempted to hit him with one and he just completely no-sold it, and he turned right back around and gave him one, and he won the match. So yeah, he may go Stone Cold Steve Austin proud there with his dishing out of the stunners there. So we're going to jump on over to Impact Wrestling here. Eddie Edwards faced EC3 for the TNA World Heavyweight title. Two of the top faces in Impact Wrestling doing battle for the company's top title here. Nice back and forth contest showcasing both talents' movesets, including a sickening Blue Thunder Bomb from Eddie Edwards and also TK3 from EC3 on the floor. Both competitors fought until the very end. It was almost too close to call. EC3 had Edwards locked in a submission as Eddie Edwards leaned back to gain the leverage to score a pinfall. The referee wound up getting the final word here and awarded the contest to Eddie Edwards for him to retain his TNA World Heavyweight title, much to the dismay of EC3. Dale, what do you have to say about this one?
Yeah, just another solid effort from these two guys as they continue to be the headliners at the top of Impact Wrestling, and EC3 continues to show that WWE very much dropped the ball with him. I can't really say that Ring of Honor dropped the ball with Eddie Edwards. I'm pretty sure TNA gave him more money. So
yeah, definitely.
Obviously, you got to do this for money too. It's like you can't just stick at a promotion because you like it there. It's like these guys got to get be able to make a living at doing this stuff too.
Got to make a living.
But yeah, you got the dives that Eddie Edwards likes to do to the outside. It's like a Hurricane Ranas, all of the good stuff that these guys like to do. Boston Knee Party, but EC3 countered it and smartly rolled out of the ring, kind of making you see the psychology there of these two have been in the ring a few times, and they're kind of starting to show that a great anticipation of things to come.
Yeah. It's kind of funny here. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead. I want you to complete your thought now.
I was just going to say, it's like, again, we were just trying to find a match from Impact Wrestling that stood out this month, and I think this was kind of the best one because really they've kind of been getting into this stuff with Matt Hardy, and then their look back episodes. So really, they didn't give us too many episodes to look at that had great overall wrestling matches, and that's why this one kind of stood out.
Yeah, I was about to say, you shared that picture with me from about a week or so ago. We all know what EC3's fate could have possibly have been had he stayed in WWE, because the WWE actually utilized this guy as an extra alongside Cesaro as a security guard early on in his tenure there in WWE. It's like, it just cracks me up because, like I said, if you look at that scene there featuring EC3 and Cesaro wearing the security outfits, you're just like, wow. Two of the top talents in wrestling. One of them, actually kind of lived up to his full potential in TNA and has captured TNA Gold as their heavyweight champion. When is Cesaro ever going to get the opportunity to hold the main title over there and on the main roster in WWE? Will it ever happen? It's just some food for thought there. Moving on to the WWE, we had The Miz taking on Dolph Ziggler in a ladder match for the Intercontinental title from TLC 2016. Mauro Ranallo announced prior to the bout that this was the final encounter between Dolph and The Miz. This match features some innovative offense, including usage of the ladder, especially the slingshot powerbomb by The Miz. Also, the springboard elbow from the ladder from Dolph Ziggler there. Miz used his heelish tactics to take the advantage and capture the IC title once again. Dale, what's your thoughts on your boy The Miz?
Well, he did what he had to do. It's like the double low kicks. And I might be mistaken here, but I kind of feel like this was one of those matches where the announcers brought up things that are you're able to get away with in no disqualification matches, and they were throwing a fit about The Miz throwing the kicks in, or like, that's just a cheap shot. I was like, well, it's a ladder match and anything goes. He's a heel.
Exactly.
So it's kind of one of those things where the commentators went to try to make a complaint about the way that The Miz won. I was like, well, yeah, I guess it's a heelish tactic, but in this sense, anything goes. So heels are supposed to do what they got to do. Again, as I said, to win. They don't care. It's like, and he didn't technically cheat in this one. He used the dirty move, really, but it wasn't cheating.
Yeah.
But they showed a great use of the ladder. One of the top ladder matches, and definitely a huge plug for these two guys in being one of the better feuds of the year. I definitely think it's near the top, if not the top of WWE, and if not the top feud for the entire wrestling was Miz and Dolph Ziggler. I just thought that this has re-put Miz at the top of the map, and obviously Ziggler, we know what he can do in the ring. This one, he just finally got into some meaningful matches, and where his ability to put on a show actually meant something. And
exactly.
And then this feud with Ziggler helped The Miz get himself back to the top of the mountain in WWE, to where he very much could be full championship material again. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was coming. But obviously, He's behind AJ Styles, who I think is a tier above The Miz, but I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a World Championship run come from The Miz this time next year.
Yeah, very well could happen. Only time will tell. So we have made it to the top match of the month of December. The top match on our list featured AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose. This was a TLC match for the WWE title from TLC 2016. Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles risked life and limb, almost killing one another in the process, to hold the distinct honor of being WWE champion. This Extreme Encounter. This match lived up to its name, as it was probably one of the best offerings which we've had from a TLC match in recent memory. Two of the more memorable spots included AJ Styles' breathtaking 450 splash from the top rope to Dean Ambrose through a table on the floor. Also, Dean's elbow drop delivered to AJ from off a ladder position on top of an announce table, sending AJ crashing through another table ringside, which he lay prone on top of. Both men gave the WWE Universe and the viewers at home their money's worth, but in the end, it was the chinless assassin, James Ellsworth, who would decide the outcome of this heavyweight title bout. Ellsworth stabbed Dean in the back, sending him through a one-way flight through the tables there on the ringside outside the ring, and allowing AJ to retain the WWE World Heavyweight title. Dale, what's your thoughts on our top match from the month of December 2016?
Yeah, definitely. This was the match of December for me, and top 3 matches of the year is this one for me. Featuring AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose. Definitely the best showing between the two. I think, obviously, we know the star AJ Styles is, and I definitely think, even though James Ellsworth has been thrown into this thing, putting Dean Ambrose with AJ Styles has helped the star rise of Dean Ambrose. But you had that springboard 450 that Styles did through the table. Just unbelievable move there. Then you saw him take a dirty deeds on the steps. Then we saw how it ended with Ellsworth pushing the ladder over and putting Ambrose through 2 tables. And I know that there was a bunch of people calling a heel turn for Ellsworth, and I was like, no, he didn't turn heel. He already told you what he was doing.
Yes.
He was 3-0 against AJ Styles. He was going to go the numbers game and take the match with AJ Styles. So for everybody to kind of get upset about that one and thinking that Styles or Ellsworth was making a heel turn, to me, I just thought was a bit silly. Yeah.
And I need to include one of the more unique spots that we saw featured in that match that I forgot to mention there, prior to tossing to you, Dale, was that sick-looking vertical suplex where he kind of just tossed AJ, and he almost landed in like a power bomb position through a table which was made out of chairs in the ring. I don't believe I've ever seen that executed before. That was just sick. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This match was full of memorable moments.
Yeah, that one was up there. And then obviously one of the other unfortunate things that kind of peaked from this match was the wardrobe malfunction for AJ Styles with the rip tights on the bum crack there. But
AJ, I gotta give it to you, man. You let it all hang out in this match, literally. I'll be here all night, ladies.
But you know what? That was the thing. It's like the rip in his pants happened early on in that match, and I was like, I'll give it this. It's like you're a little worried about the fact that the pants kind of ripped to begin with, but the fact that the hole didn't get any bigger with all of the stuff that he ended up going through, I guess is a credit too. So
yeah, it's pretty amazing in itself. And I was saying on that note, when we did our good, the bad, and the ugly for that match, to recap the TLC pay-per-view, I actually did not include him ripping his pants as the ugly. I think I mentioned the vertical suplex spot where he kind of powerbombed him through the table of chairs in the ring as the ugly. So yeah, I think I kind of missed out on an opportunity to cash in on that one there. But in any case, that has been our top 10 matches for the month of December from 2016. On that note, we would like to thank you for joining us for our top matches for the month of December from 2016. Tune in for our next episode of No Gimmicks Podcast coming up in 2017. Please visit our official YouTube channel. You can find us at www.youtube.com/the No Gimmicks Podcast. If you would like to receive our notifications when we release our new episodes, then please subscribe. We would like to hear from our viewers, so please leave us some feedback in our comments section on our official YouTube channel. Also, please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at the No Gimmicks PC. Be on the lookout for my updates on my personal LinkedIn account weekly, usually on Monday afternoons. Also, check out Craig Perkins' weekly article featured on ProWrestling.com. And remember, sharing is caring. Feel free to share the links to our episodes with other pro wrestling fans on your social media accounts as well. That does it for this episode of No Gimmicks Podcast. For my tag team partner Dale Clifford in Fernley, Nevada, this is Todd Smith in Bristol, Connecticut signing off. Until next time around, y'all take care.